So I'm all hyped up. I'm geeked up. I get a chance to talk to my fellow gaucho and a soon-to-be NBA free agent, Gabe Vincent. He shows up early. He looks like a million. We've got it on Zoom. We're ready to roll. And then technically there is an issue, and we had to reestablish contact. But being the pro's pro that Gabe is, we reestablished on the phone, and I'm going to finish what I started because it's a conversation that I've been looking forward to for a long time. Gabe, I really appreciate you playing some ball with me and the patience. Thanks for joining me once again, Gabe. How you feeling now?
Of course, man. No problem. I'm happy we can make it work.
Yeah, that's my guy right there. All right, so before I talk about your situation this week and going forward, why don't you finish that thought that we started on the Miami Heat culture? I want to ask you this, like that culture that you were talking about, it can't be for everybody, right? I mean, are there people that are not built for the way you guys prepare and work, and do they get weeded out pretty quickly if so?
100%. And I think we just do things differently. And we acknowledge that, there's not just one route to success or one answer, but that's just the way we do it. And we believe in it. We believe in our process. And like I said, it's not for everybody, but we do our best to hold each other accountable and have a high standard of excellence.
Gabe Vincent joining us. I want to ask you about one guy who personifies that culture to me, and that's Udonis Haslem. I've been utterly fascinated by this guy for so long. Admittedly, Gabe, I haven't spoken to him in a couple of years, but what was he like as a teammate, and what's the most important thing you learned from him or picked up from him?
He's amazing as a teammate, first and foremost. Everyone calls him OG. I think he's just the vet of the entire league at this point, or was this past season. His consistency, his discipline is just remarkable. At his age, to be able to go out there and give us meaningful minutes, 5, 10 minutes, whatever it was, he played in games for us. And it was never a doubt or, does he have this in him or can he handle it? Because he's done a great job of just keeping his body prepared, keeping his mind prepared, and that's part of what we do.
I mean, Gabe, for instance, like you're all about the process, but what's it like when you're that guy? I mean, he was that guy for a long time, but what's it like to maintain that consistency and keep your body and mind prepared when you're not guaranteed minutes and probably won't get them?
Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes it's easier than others, but it's part of it at the same time. You can't control when you go in the game, and when you don't, you can just control being ready. And, after doing it for day in, day out, it becomes a habit, and you build all these good habits, and before you know it, it's just your lifestyle. It's just you change the way you eat. It's just what you do now. It becomes second nature.
I love it. It's a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's not even a habit. It's not even a discipline. It's a complete lifestyle. It's an identity. All the great ones understand that. Gabe Vincent's joining us. So now you are an unrestricted free agent with full bird rights come Friday. What is your mindset heading into free agency? How are you approaching it?
I'm excited. It's a blessing. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's a lot of things could change. Location could change, but I'm just trying to keep an open mind going into it, and just looking forward to see what happens.
So, Gabe, specifically, what are you looking for in your next opportunity?
That's a tough answer. I mean, obviously, I'd love to go somewhere and impact winning and continue to have deep runs in the playoffs. I think everyone in the NBA would have that answer, but I definitely want to be in a place where I have an opportunity to be me and an opportunity to have an impact and a role on a team. I'm looking forward to that, wherever it may be.
We're talking to Gabe Vincent. Gabe, Eric Spoelstra said at point blank, we love Gabe. We love Gabe. I have to think that you love it there as well, but now this is a business decision you have to make. As an example, this is not like when you were coming out of college and you were undrafted. Now you've made yourself a valuable commodity. They clearly want you back, but do they still check all of your boxes?
I think the feelings are mutual. My time in Miami has been amazing. The organization's been great to me. Coaching staff's been great. But, now, like you said, it is a business, and things just have to work out at the end of the day. And, there's certain things that they're going to try to do and try to get roster-wise, and we'll see just how things go budget-wise and go from there, because the team could come in and change that whole dynamic. So we'll kind of just see how it goes. And like I said, I'm just trying to remain open-minded.
We're talking to Gabe Vincent. Gabe, you've evolved as a person and as a player. From a basketball standpoint, going from a 2-guard to a 1 is one of the most difficult things you could do, especially at that level. I'm curious, what did you think when Eric Spoelstra first told you, this is our plan for you, we want you to make that transition? And then what was that transition like?
In my mind, I said perfect. I felt like I had some of those qualities in me already. I grew up playing point guard. Obviously, playing point guard at the highest level is very different, especially when you're lining up against the guys that are in this league at that position. But it's just another challenge that I could embrace and grow and expand my game. I'm always looking for ways to remain on the court. So if I could be valuable in more than one way, play more than one position, I relish in that opportunity.
We're talking to Gabe Vincent. So, Gabe, I'm proud of plenty of things in my life, but being a UCSB Gaucho is right near the top of the list. I don't try to hide that at all. The Gaucho Nation is strong. We all stick together. I'm proud as hell that you're a Gaucho and what you've accomplished. What was your UCSB experience like, and then how instrumental was it in who you are now on and off the floor?
Yeah, first and foremost, shout out to the Gauchos. Definitely have a lot of love and respect for them as well. My time there was incredible. Outside of basketball, it was great to grow, to be in a beautiful place. Kids your age and grow in that manner as well, get a great education on the court. They gave me an opportunity to grow in my game and have opportunities to showcase it. And it's something I'm forever grateful for. I try to get back there every summer. So I spend time there as much as I can. I got property there. It's very much a home away from home for me.
No, I get that. I love that. So what's the backstory? For instance, you have Modesto and Stockton roots. What's your backstory? How did you end up at UCSB? Why did you want to be a Gaucho?
Yeah, I was getting recruited my junior year, or sophomore year, junior year, and getting a few offers here and there. And, at first I had the narrative that it was a party school. I never really paid attention to it as a basketball school, to be plainly speaking. And I thought I'd go out east. I was like, I want to go out to the East Coast. I've been on the West Coast my whole life. I was trying to get out east a little bit. And then I continued to go through the process, got to know them a little bit better, got to realize how things worked and how offers kind of get thrown around sometimes in this college basketball day and age we were in. So as I realized that the feelings were mutual, that they did love me, they did want me there, and I could have opportunities to grow in my game, knowing that I wouldn't really be a one-and-done player to reach my ultimate goal of getting to the NBA. It just worked out perfectly. It was a perfect storm, and I was able to go there and work on my game and fight for minutes and go in there and showcase myself.
Man, I love that. I love that so much. Gabe Vincent joining us. I love also that you kind of had this notion that it was a party school, and by the way, it is. Find me one college that's not a party school, but we work hard. It's a great academic school, and there's a good basketball tradition. People will laugh at me and clown me for that. Brian Shaw came through there. We were a top 25 school at a point. We had some incredible matchups with UNLV back in the day, so there is some basketball history there as well. So, Gabe, let me ask you this. You were undrafted. You played in the G League. You had a vision. You had a plan. But that doesn't make it easy. When things got tough and doubt would creep in, what would you do in those moments? What was your self-talk like then?
My self-talk was just falling back on my routines that I'd set in place. I think those have always been helpful for me, and as they may change or be altered, but it just helps me align back to being motivated again. Sometimes you lose motivation when you're chasing something difficult. It can come and go. Sometimes you're on fire for it, and sometimes you don't really feel like getting up that day. But your routines are set in place, and those habits help you to remain in those consistent moments and continue to grow.
Gabe, which routines and when did you establish them? When did you learn about that habitual construction and that motivation wanes? It's not always there, that you need routines and to fall back on those routines. When did you learn that?
I started doing it a little bit inherently when I was young, probably 12, 13, whether it was stretching before we go play or warming up a certain way or doing this before bed. And I've just continued to change or add and subtract as time's gone on. And obviously my body's changed or my game has changed. The level of where I'm at has changed. And so whether it was getting shots up at night before the game or cold tubbing a certain amount, I just continue to stay steadfast in those.
So let me ask you this before you go. Your father, Franklin, emigrated to the U.S. from Nigeria in 1980. You played on the Nigerian national team that upset Team USA in an exhibition game in the summer of 2021, and you really turned some heads then. Then you headed to the Tokyo Olympic Games. What was the entire Olympic experience like for you?
It was incredible. Obviously, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's something that no one can take away from me, and that's something I'm very proud of. I'll forever be an Olympian. Unfortunately, we didn't perform the way we wanted to when we were in Tokyo, but it was really cool to get together with those guys and to compete at that level on that stage and to represent our nation. We know how much those games mean to our people and how much that game, even an exhibition against USA, meant to our people back home. So we're proud to represent them and just try to continue to make them proud.
So an amazing time for you then. You'll never, ever forget that. You'll always have that. Also an amazing time this week. It's a really big week for you. You are a free agent to be come Friday with full bird rights. A gaucho, too, Gabe. I need not tell you they can't take that from you, and I know you're proud of that.
Amen.
Listen, man, I'm so glad you and I came together, and I really appreciate you fighting through my technical difficulties, Gabe. I'm proud of you, man. I appreciate you so much.
No, I appreciate you as well, man. Hopefully we could meet face-to-face soon enough here.
I would love to. Appreciate you, Gabe. Good luck. Have a great week. Gabe Vincent. Man, that is a pro right there. Pro's pro. It's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not sure that Miami can afford to keep him. I'm sure that Gabe has a business decision to make right now, and his value went up exponentially throughout the postseason. And that's somebody who obviously, wherever he goes, he's going to do whatever he can to help that team win. But that's not a backup player. That's not a backup player worth X. That's a starter worth Y. And I said it. Eric Spoelstra has said it for the record. We love Gabe. We love him. He's one of us. He fits in. But they can't keep everybody. And now it's his time. So I'm so glad that he was able to fight through and not give up on that. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.